Okay, well, wait till she's ready.
I'm already recording.
Are you ready?
Well, I guess I am ready.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm already going.
Danny, go.
So I had a really good story to preface my drunk history, which was drunk present, but I guess it is now drunk history since it happened before midnight. But I actually tried to open the wine bottle with a wine cork, and it was a twist top, which was great. Great start to drunk history. So, my story is about the discovery of penicillin.
Woo!
So apparently on September 28th, there was a guy named Dr. Alexander Fleming, who was a bacteriologist, and he had just come back from summer vacation from Scotland.
Woo!
And he returned to London, and he realized that he left his lab in a mess, and there was some petri dishes of Staph aureus.
So backlit.
And so he also had some other...
Wait,
What?
can we turn the TV off? It's so backlit.
Oh, sorry.
I got this.
You're just like a shadowy witch woman telling a story.
Oh, that makes
Shadowy
shadow.
witch woman.
I mean,
I love it.
I could be a shadowy witch woman.
I already did it. It's not helping.
So anyway,
It's not
Dr.
any
Alexander
better.
Fleming was a bacteriologist at St. Mary's Hospital in London. He comes back from his summer trip to Scotland to his messy lab, where I guess he had some shit lying around, and also his petri dishes. So the mold from all the shit lying around infiltrated his petri dishes, and he realized that there was like rings around them, like halos, that inhibited the growth of the bacteria. So that's how he discovered penicillin. It was like, oops, by accident, because he came back from his vacation to his messy lab. Anyway, nobody really knew what to make of it for quite a few years. He kind of played around with it for a little while because it was a pretty cool discovery, but it actually wasn't until like 14 years later, in March of 1942, there was a lady named Anne Miller who was the first civilian to be successfully treated by penicillin, because it took that long for them to like purify it and be able to like do the trials and make sure that it was okay for humans, and that it actually did what they thought it was going to be doing. But anyway, there was also like this other guy named Dr. Howard Florey, who was a professor of pathology in Oxford. And he was cool because he was able to get grants to do all these studies. So like, whereas Dr. Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered that
It's a good thing there were so many grants around.
I want one.
I'd like a grant. I mean, I could do a lot of cool things with a lot of money.
I know
but
someone named Grant.
no one trusts me with a lot of money, I guess. Anyway.
No, I just meant like guys named Grant that were like willing to do shit.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that counts too. So anyway, Dr. Howard Florey was like the professor of pathology, and he was able to get a bunch of grants, but he also had like a whole team of scientists that he pulled together.
Were their names Grant?
No, their names were not Grant. Their names were Dr. Ernest Chain, and he was a Jewish German. And then, I don't know any other names. Anyway, in the summer of 1940, they did these tests where there were like 50 mice, and half of them they gave penicillin to, and half of them they did not. And the ones that they did not died of sepsis, and the ones that they gave penicillin
Sucks to be those 25 mice.
Those 25 mice were not lucky mice. The other 25 they gave penicillin to, and they lived. So they were like, yay, this works. So then they started trying to figure out how to use it in humans, but it actually took 2,000 liters of mold culture to obtain pure penicillin for one case of sepsis in a person.
Danielle,
Man.
no one here knows metric.
Oh.
I know it.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. In September of 1940, they tested it on this police constable named Albert Alexander, but they only had 5 days worth of purified penicillin, and then they ran out. So then he died because they couldn't finish the whole script.
Sucks to be Albert Alexander. Bummer. Have fun with those 25 mice.
That was pretty sad. But anyway, so they figured it out, and everybody gets penicillin, and they're like, yay! The difference is that in World War I, bacteria pneumonia deaths were like 18%. They would die. In World War II, after they discovered penicillin, they were able to use it, less than 1%.
Holy crap.
What a big difference.
That is a huge difference.
Right? So another big bummer about the discovery of penicillin is that in 1945, Alexander Fleming, Dr. Florey, and Dr. Chain got awarded a Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine, and they totally disregarded this other guy named Heatley, who was a part of it.
Were they like, we have 25 dead mice, what do you have?
So Dr. Norman Heatley was a biochemist, and he basically, after Dr. Fleming had like accidentally discovered that penicillin did this, he was like, hey, that seems pretty cool, let me test everything. So he used every available container in the lab, like all of these vials and jars and bedpans or whatever that he could like culture penicillin mold in. He did that, and he grew vats of penicillin mold.
Vats?
Vats. That's what I read. It said vats. Florey and Heatley, they
So you could like swim in penicillin if you wanted
pretty
to.
much.
If you were so
If you
inclined.
wanted to swim in penicillin, I mean, I guess you could. But anyway, so Florey and Heatley paired with the U.S. American scientists in Illinois to try to develop mass producing of penicillin. And then there was like another lab assistant that brought some cantaloupe that had some cool like golden mold that was supposed to be like a better like species of penicillin. And so they ended up like getting like
So cool.
like
I have better penicillin.
I have better penicillin.
Oh
So they
man,
were
I
able
made
to, like,
better penicillin in my refrigerator so many times.
so they were like really able to get some good penicillin out of that. But basically, like in 1945, they awarded like the 3 scientists with a Nobel Prize, but they didn't acknowledge the 4th guy that collected all the vats of penicillin and like was growing everything.
He was
He
like,
actually-
hey guys, I got all these
he
vats. And they were like,
He
dude.
was not acknowledged at all until 1990. He was
gosh.
awarded from Oxford. He was awarded the first honorary doctorate of medicine. His name was Dr. Heatley, and he actually lived from 1911 to 2004. So at least he lived
A while.
a long time, and in 1990 he was actually like acknowledged for his work, which was pretty cool.
93 years for me to get acknowledged for these vats of penicillin, you
I was
assholes.
doing vats of penicillin. You guys ignored me. But anyway, that's a really muddy version of how penicillin was discovered.
Yay!
Penicillin for everyone!
I like penicillin.
Vats!
Unless you're allergic.
If you want to swim in it, you can swim in it.
No.